all time, right?
No, we don't want to get too carried away with that.
Would you like to bring back, would you like to call out any of the vets and have them come dunk with you next year?
Ooh, that would be tough.
You want to decree anything else you're going to win? Go ahead. This is your chance.
We're going to win the finals this year. February 16th, Jayson Tatum said we're going to win the finals this year.
What do you have to say? Anything?
Say go dead. Don't be shy.
His media career is just starting. That's the cutest child ever, right?
So cute.
You just heard Jayson Tatum, though, boldly declaring after winning the skills challenge, and maybe that was a great shot, by the way. He's going to win the title. I asked him that because he said that morning, he said, I'm going to win the skills challenge. And then he went and did it. So I said, you going to tell us anything else you're going to win? And he apparently believes, mark it down, he says, they are winning the NBA title. How realistic do you feel that is?
I think it is realistic, but don't get ahead of yourself because the East is truly, in your words, an arms race.
Yeah.
But when I look at the Celtics team, I still look at them and determine them by the big games, by the moments that we saw last year in the playoffs. Obviously, we have Jayson Tatum and Jaylen Brown that performed well in the playoffs last year. And if you look how the rest of the crew is rounding out, Kyrie Irving, still to date, at the end of the game, one-on-one, you want the ball in his hands, right? Look at Gordon Hayward, though. Gordon Hayward, his last 2 games leading into the All-Star break, I think 18 points, 26 points. So if this team reaches their potential, I can see them going back to the Eastern Conference Finals and potentially the Finals. But you might need to slow your roll because the rest of that East is looking pretty deep.
And what about the team you cover?
Yeah, they're not winning the finals. Sorry, Jayson Tatum. I loved, Rich, that you asked a question. You're like, like, you felt it, and he had a little chuckle in his voice. That's not happening. Can they get to the finals?
Right.
Yes, I still think they have enough talent, and they'll come together in the postseason. But they may not get out of the second round.
That second round, I was talking to Bud last night after the game. Man, and Milwaukee has been playing so well, but he knows they're in for it. That second round could be some version of Boston, Philly, Milwaukee, Toronto, right? Battling each other out, and that's going to be crazy. And you could have a very good team losing in the second round, and if it does happen to be the Celtics, how does that affect Kyrie Irving's free agency as he sits at home for the next
Dominoes.
Watching? This stuff is huge.
What about that guy,
huge
Mr. Davis?
Repercussions.
What about him?
That would help.
Well, he doesn't get to choose. We're going to talk about this later in the show. Anthony Davis, this whole idea of a list. Anthony Davis does not choose where he goes. He is going to get traded if he choose. If he got to choose where he goes.
There's 4 teams. There's 29 teams.
If he got to choose where he went, he would not be playing for the New Orleans Pelicans right now. So we'll talk about that later in the show. We'll also talk about the Lakers and whether they're going to even make the playoffs. First, though, check out something we taped after Friday's show. We had Rasheed Wallace, Steven Jackson.
We gotta keep it
We had
real
to make
here.
use of them. Here's another round of the Jump's favorite game. What were you thinking? Welcome to The Jump. I am sitting here with the one and only Mr. Rasheed Wallace and, of course, Steven Jackson, 2003 NBA champ, 2004 NBA champ. Just saying. It is time now to play one of our favorite games, What Were You Thinking? And no one better to play it with than Sheed. All right. Stack, you're going to help me out here. First up, Sheed, what were you thinking when you were ejected for looking at a referee?
I got you. You know, everything that I was saying was true. I got you. You're so focused on me, well, running up and down the court that you're not even calling the game.
That's Ron, and your eyes he know everything you saying by just looking.
Oh, yeah.
Y'all done had many conversations.
Yeah, for sure. Pleasantries.
Oh, my Lord. And more than that. All right, next up, and this is where it gets more interesting. What were you thinking when you played the one game with the Atlanta Hawks and Steven Jackson was on that team?
Ooh, I was excited. You know, Jason Terry was there. Jack was there. We had a pretty good team. Mm-hmm. And as I mentioned the other day, hey, look, we know we can't make the playoffs, but we're going to mess it up for everybody.
You were their leading scorer. In the one game you played, you were the leading scorer.
Oh, it was fun.
Did you have any idea you were about to be turned around and dealt again?
Not at all.
I didn't care if it was just one game, you know. I played with Tim Duncan, you know, and if I had that feeling for one game to play with Rasheed Wallace, I wanted it, and I enjoyed that one game. I wish we could have played the rest of the season together, but, you know, we was boys before that, so being able to play with your brother, it was a good experience, that one game.
What was it like, though, when you heard, oh, wait, no, he's going to Detroit?
Oh, no, actually, we were in the bar in Miami, and we saw it on the screen. We saw the screen. Rasheed Wallace has been traded. Yes, we were together.
That's how you found out?
That's how we found out.
And then I got
we
the call.
was lit, too. We was lit.
He's like... He's like, dang, hey, give me another one.
Right, I was going to say.
Yeah, give us another one.
Grown adults, it's legal, so you do what you got to do. All right, next up, and this I've been waiting to ask, maybe my whole career. Rasheed Wallace, what were you thinking when you said both teams played hard? Let's listen first.
Both teams play hard, my man.
Rasheed, do you think it was a good game? Do you think both teams played hard?
Both teams play hard. Both teams play hard. Both teams play hard. God bless and good night.
See, I tried to be nice there at the end. I took a little bit from Russell Simmons there, gave him the God bless and good night, wished him the pleasantries, But it came from my battles with the media when I was out there in Portland. It was a lot of things being said about us that wasn't true. So it was my thing. If I said something, I got fined. If I didn't say nothing, I got fined. So I just came up with that, like, look, both teams did play hard, though. It was the truth.
Can't fault them for that. I mean, a lot of times you don't want to be up there, especially after losses, and sometimes, people ask dumb questions. You know what I mean?
Not me.
No,
never.
Oh, you're perfect. What I'm saying is, some people, they do ask questions about the game and stuff that make no sense or have nothing to do with the game, and they ask you at the wrong time because there's certain guys that actually care about losing. Yeah. Now, if you don't want somebody to come back at you, then bring somebody on the stand who don't care about the game. But guys like us, we care about losing, and we wear our emotions on our sleeves, so it happens like that sometimes.
For real.
All right, so this is my deep journalistic question then for you, not being one of those kinds of reporters. Rasheed Wallace, has the ball ever lied?
Negative.
Never lie. Never lie. Ball never lie.
Did you know that was going to become something that would carry not just through after your career, but across sports?
No, I didn't. And it killed me the other day, and I got about 10, 12 people that had called me and texted me real quick when Tony Romo had mentioned it in the
football game. Yep.
I was like, oh, man. But I never thought it would take off like it did.
Well, look, that he mentioned it because there was a missed field goal after a call that went not the way most people thought it should have gone. And so, hey, ball don't lie. There you go. Thank you always for joining us. We love when you're on the jump.
Thank you for having me.
You can catch the jump every day, 3 o'clock Eastern on ESPN. We're also on the ESPN app, so you can just go to your phone and be like, oh, I'd like to watch the jump. I'd like to watch Steven Jackson. Dial us up. There we are. Thank you so much.
Lift every